every headline, every conflict, every peace treaty, every war in the Middle East ultimately revolves around one tiny nation smaller than New Jersey, Israel. But what most don't realize is this: Israel isn't just another country caught in geopolitical struggles. It's the clock of prophecy, the center of God's plan, the nation through which every other nation will be judged. And here's what will shock you. Israel's entire story, from its miraculous birth to its final destiny, was written thousands of years before it happened. The Bible doesn't just mention Israel, it is Israel's story. From the first promise whispered to one man in ancient Mesopotamia to the final battle that will shake the entire world. Stay with me, because today you're about to discover why Israel is unlike any other nation that has ever existed, why its survival defies every law of history, and why its future will determine the fate of every person on earth. Let's dive in. The story begins not with a nation, but with a promise so impossible, so audacious, that only God could fulfill it. Around 2000 BC, in the ancient city of Ur in Mesopotamia, there lived a man named Abram. He had everything except the one thing that mattered most in his culture: a son. His wife Sarai was barren, and at 75 years old, Abram's chance of becoming a father seemed dead. But then God spoke. And when God spoke to Abram, he didn't just promise a son, he promised a nation. Leave your country, your people, and your father's household, and go to the land I will show you. I will make you into a great nation, and I will bless you. I will make your name great, and you will be a blessing. I will bless those who bless you, and whoever curses you, I will curse, and all peoples on earth will be blessed through you. This wasn't just a promise, it was a covenant, an unbreakable, eternal decree that would shape all of human history. God renamed Abram to Abraham, meaning father of many nations, and Sarai to Sarah, meaning princess. And then came the most shocking detail. I will establish my covenant as an everlasting covenant between me and you and your descendants after you for the generations to come, to be your God and the God of your descendants after you. The whole land of Canaan, where you now reside as a foreigner, I will give as an everlasting possession to you and your descendants after you. Everlasting, not temporary, not conditional on Israel's behavior. Everlasting. But there was a problem. Years passed, a decade, 2 decades. Sarah remained barren. Until finally, when Abraham was 100 years old and Sarah was 90, the impossible happened. Isaac was born, the child of promise, the child of laughter, because Sarah herself had laughed when God said she would conceive. Isaac grew and had 2 sons, Esau and Jacob, and it was Jacob, the younger, the deceiver, the one who wrestled with God and prevailed, who received the covenant. God renamed him Israel, meaning he struggles with God. And from Jacob came 12 sons, 12 tribes, the foundation of a nation that would bear his name forever. But here's what makes Israel unique from its very conception. It was never meant to exist by natural means. From the barren womb of a 90-year-old woman to a family of 70 people enslaved in Egypt, Israel's very existence has always been supernatural. And that's exactly the point. Before Israel even became a nation, God revealed its entire destiny, not in vague terms, but with surgical precision. In the book of Deuteronomy, before the Israelites entered the promised land, Moses stood before them and declared both blessing and curse. He told them exactly what would happen if they obeyed God, and exactly what would happen if they rebelled. And what he prophesied next would prove to be the most accurate prediction in human history. If you do not obey the Lord your God, the Lord will scatter you among all nations, from one end of the earth to the other. Among those nations you will find no repose, no resting place for the sole of your foot. There the Lord will give you an anxious mind, eyes weary with longing, and a despairing heart. You will live in constant suspense, filled with dread both night and day, never sure of your life. 3,000 years ago, Moses predicted the exact condition of the Jewish people throughout history: scattered, persecuted, anxious, homeless. But he didn't stop there. However, if from there you seek the Lord your God, you will find him if you seek him with all your heart and with all your soul. When you are in distress and all these things have happened to you, then in later days you will return to the Lord your God and obey him. For the Lord your God is a merciful God. He will not abandon or destroy you or forget the covenant with your ancestors, which he confirmed to them by oath. Return. That's the key word. Israel would be scattered, but not destroyed, exiled, but not forgotten, and one day they would return. The prophet Ezekiel took this further. In one of the most vivid prophecies ever recorded, God showed him a valley full of dry bones, skeletons, corpses long dead, bleached by the sun, scattered across a wasteland. And God asked, "Son of man, can these bones live?" Then God commanded Ezekiel to prophesy to the bones, and as he spoke, the bones began to rattle. They came together, bone to bone. Tendons and flesh appeared. Skin covered them, but they had no breath. So God commanded him to prophesy to the breath, and the breath entered them. They stood up, a vast army. And then God explained, "Son of man, these bones are the people of Israel. They say, 'Our bones are dried up and our hope is gone. We are cut off.' Therefore prophesy and say to them, 'This is what the sovereign Lord says. My people, I'm going to open your graves and bring you up from them. I will bring you back to the land of Israel.'" This wasn't about individuals being resurrected. This was about a dead nation coming back to life. A people with no land, no language, no political power, no hope, would one day stand against a nation, against all odds, against all logic, against every historical precedent. And then came the most specific prophecy of all. Through the prophet Isaiah, God declared, "In that day the Lord will reach out his hand a second time to reclaim the surviving remnant of his people. He will raise a banner for the nations and gather the exiles of Israel. He will assemble the scattered people of Judah from the four quarters of the earth." A second time. The first time was the Exodus from Egypt, but there would be a second Exodus, a second gathering from the four corners of the earth. Not just from one nation, but from all nations. Every major prophet spoke of it. Jeremiah, Ezekiel, Isaiah, Zechariah. All of them saw the same future. Israel scattered, Israel preserved, Israel restored. What happened next should have been impossible. In 586 BC, the Babylonian Empire destroyed Jerusalem, burned the temple to the ground, and carried the Jewish people into exile. The nation ceased to exist. 70 years later, just as the prophet Jeremiah had predicted, they returned and rebuilt the temple. But in 70 AD, something far worse happened. The Roman Empire, under General Titus, surrounded Jerusalem. The Jewish historian Josephus recorded what happened next. Over 1 million Jews were killed. The temple was destroyed so thoroughly that Jesus' prophecy was fulfilled. Not one stone will be left on another. The survivors were scattered across the Roman Empire, enslaved, dispersed. And for the next 1,878 years, the Jewish people had no homeland, no nation, no political power. By every historical standard, they should have disappeared. Every other ancient people did. The Hittites, the Phoenicians, the Philistines, all gone, absorbed, forgotten, but not Israel. Through the Middle Ages, they survived the Crusades. Through the Spanish Inquisition, through the pogroms in Russia, through the Holocaust, where 6 million were systematically murdered. Every empire that tried to destroy them eventually fell. Babylon, Rome, Nazi Germany. But Israel remained. And then came 1948. On May 14, 1948, David Ben-Gurion stood in Tel Aviv and read a declaration, "We hereby declare the establishment of a Jewish state in Eretz Israel, to be known as the State of Israel." For the first time in nearly 2,000 years, Israel existed as a nation. The dry bones had come to life. The dead nation had resurrected, exactly as Ezekiel prophesied. But the enemies of Israel didn't celebrate. The very next day, 5 Arab nations attacked: Egypt, Jordan, Syria, Lebanon, Iraq. They outnumbered the fledgling Israeli forces. They had superior weapons, superior training, and they publicly declared their intention to drive the Jews into the sea. But Israel won. Against impossible odds, they won. In 1967, it happened again. The Six-Day War. Israel's enemies surrounded them. They cut off access to water. They amassed troops on every border. Military analysts predicted Israel's destruction. But in 6 days, Israel captured the Sinai Peninsula, the Golan Heights, the West Bank, and most shockingly, Jerusalem. For the first time since 70 AD, Jerusalem was in Jewish hands. Israeli soldiers wept at the Western Wall. The prophetic clock had ticked forward again. In 1973, on Yom Kippur, the holiest day of the Jewish year, Egypt and Syria launched a surprise attack. Israel was caught off guard. In the first days, they were losing, badly. Prime Minister Golda Meir later admitted they had considered using nuclear weapons because defeat seemed certain. But they won. Again. 4 wars. 4 victories. All against overwhelming odds. How do you explain it? You can't. Not by military strategy. Not by superior numbers. Not by natural means. The prophet Zechariah explained it. "On that day I will make Jerusalem an immovable rock for all the nations. All who try to move it will injure themselves." But Israel's greatest gift to the world wasn't military victory. It was a person. The entire Old Testament is the story of God preparing one nation to bring forth one man. The Messiah, the Savior, not just of Israel, but of the entire world. Every prophecy pointed to him. As it is written, "The deliverer will come from Zion. He will turn godlessness away from Jacob, and this is my covenant with them when I take away their sins." The prophet Isaiah saw beyond the battle to the glory that follows. "The sun will no more be your light by day, nor will the brightness of the moon shine on you, for the Lord will be your everlasting light, and your God will be your glory. Your sun will never set again, and your moon will wane no more. The Lord will be your everlasting light, and your days of sorrow will end." Zechariah saw the nations streaming to Jerusalem. Then the survivors from all the nations that have attacked Jerusalem will go up year after year to worship the King, the Lord Almighty, and to celebrate the Festival of Tabernacles. Do you see it? Israel's story doesn't end in destruction. It ends in restoration. Not because Israel earned it, but because God is faithful to his promises. From the barren womb of Sarah to the dry bones in Ezekiel's valley, Israel has always been a nation that should not exist. Every empire that tried to destroy them is now dust. Babylon, Rome, Nazi Germany, all gone. But Israel remains. Because Israel isn't just another nation, it's the nation through which God chose to reveal himself, the nation that gave us the scriptures, the nation that gave us the Messiah, and the nation that will usher in the return of the King. From the promise to Abraham to the final battle at Armageddon, Israel is the key that unlocks all of prophecy. When you want to know where we are in God's timeline, you don't look at America, you don't look at China, you look at Israel. And right now, for the first time in 2,000 years, Israel exists as a nation. Jerusalem is in Jewish hands. The fig tree that Jesus said would blossom again is in full bloom. We are the generation seeing prophecies fulfilled that were written thousands of years ago. We are watching the stage being set for the final act. So I ask you, do you see it? Do you see Israel's prophetic role unfolding before your eyes? Do you see the miracle of their survival? Do you understand that their future is the world's future? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. And if this opened your eyes to how current events connect with biblical prophecy, give this video a thumbs up and share it. Because the world needs to understand what's really happening.